Okay, so I've got this thing taken off. This is the original base that comes with the Bose speaker, and this is what it looks like underneath it. You guys get a good idea. Um, Basically, what I'm gonna do is transfer the red and black wire from this connection port to the new one, and obviously it's pretty self-explanatory. Just match the red with the red, the black with the silver, and snug it all down. Don't torque it too crazy because I think this is where it's all plastic. So don't snug it too tight. Just make sure that it's not going to go anywhere or fall off. Again, should be pretty self-explanatory. If I come across something that's going to be a little bit more difficult, I'll make a video section about that. But I don't foresee that happening. So just hang tight and it'll be done. Okay, so I did just think of something. What you'll want to do is, because you have to kind of do this in pieces, you can't just connect the wires of this one. You can't just connect it straight to this unit quite yet. And the reason being is you have to snake these wires through the piping over here, right? And then you also have to snake it through the base. So you really want to figure out where you're going to position everything first and then start running the wires all the way through it. And this should have enough room underneath it to where the wires shouldn't interfere with that, so that's good. But it should all fit nice and flush and snug. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this over. Again, being very careful so I don't scratch my table or the speaker stand itself. And good, just like I thought, there's a little, where is it? Okay, there's a little cutout there for where the wires should be running. So think of it like this. This should be going towards the back of the speaker. So when you have everything set up, your speaker should be facing this way and the cord should be coming this way. So just keep that in mind. So we're gonna pop, oh, dropped it. Just try that again. Okay, just snake that through there. Nice and easy. Perfect. And you want that to kind of be hanging out from the backside like that. All right. So now I flip this back over. Excuse the cold. So it really feels like there's barely just enough room on this. So that's not a bad thing, but just something to take note of. So we actually want to run enough wiring through that we can go ahead and get it all the way through this rod. So I'm going to pull this, get these out of the way. I'm actually going to slide this over a little bit towards the edge and then just snake it up as much as I need to. Don't let it fall. Oh my gosh. So doing this one-handed is not easy. Let me just tell you that. But it's working. And really give yourself a lot of extra room because there's no downside to having more room than necessary. Okay, so I hit a little snag. All right, give me 1 second just so I can do this with two hands. All right, so I got that done. So this stand, give you an idea here. Basically, I'm trying so hard not to break this. I gave myself a lot more cord length than what I'd actually need. It's not showing up on camera, but gave myself about another 2 to 3 feet of cord length sticking out. So you have enough room to set everything up and then still be able to work comfortably with your setup. So let's go ahead and now snake this through the wire or through the stand part. I'll set you down real quick. While you're waiting for something to happen, tell me about your guys' Thanksgiving. How was it? Do you like ham? My girl hates ham. Or you a turkey person? I could probably do less turkey, more ham. I know it's not very traditional, but that's just how I am. I feel like turkey gets too dry, you know? But ham, though, that shit stays juicy. What about the weird people that eat chicken on Thanksgiving? Yeah, they're definitely serial killers, huh? All right, so I've got this wire about halfway up, and it's hitting a snag on something. So I'm gonna pause the video. I'll be right back. Okay, so we got it all set up. And again, I'm giving myself a few more feet of space to continue to work with. One thing I did notice, since you have that little, let's see, where is it? Little nub right there. You do want to make sure that's lined up down here with that one, but that's going to be the one that you actually screw it together. So make sure that's lined up. You don't have to, again, go super crazy, but you want to get it set up first. And I would say, to be honest, I would say don't even tighten it down quite yet. Just make sure you get everything set up and get it all working. Test it. One thing I've learned from installing car audio is you always test it first before you snug everything down, because if you have to change something, it just makes it a lot easier. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep this loose, probably set this over here in the box, to be honest. And then I'll just make sure everything works first, make sure I don't have any issues, and then I'll tighten everything down. So here's what I mean. So I've got the base, the wire running through it. It's coming all the way over here. And then it's snaking back up this way, but I still have the cord right next to me so I can keep working on it. So go ahead and do that just so you can make your life 10 times easier. All right, and I got really, really lucky here. So there actually is a difference in screw sizes. So these ones, the bigger screws, they're made for the actual base. It's a larger hole that's going to accept these. And then you have the smaller screws right next to it. Those are made for the top where the bracket's going to sit. So luckily, I just happened to put this on the right way and everything ended up working out. But do watch out for that as you're putting everything together. So something to keep in mind. But as of right now, this part is done. So what I'm going to do now is actually mount the speaker to it, which it looks like it just kind of, again, trying to do this one-handed. It sits on there, and then you would screw the holes in the backside to keep everything secure. And it just uses these kind of touch points to actually get in focus here. It just uses those touch points to get everything nice and secure. And that's how your sound will travel in your signal right there. Okay, and this is it. It is now fully mounted, fully connected. Get that back in focus there. So you see you have full access to everything. On the back side, that's what you got. This looks really nice, and it feels very premium. So I'm excited to get it all set up. I will do the other one, but before I finalize this one and really button it up, I'm going to go ahead and test it again just to make sure the sound, make sure the connections, because it is just sitting on top of those two prongs. I do want to make sure everything is going to work first before I get everything positioned and get everything buttoned up, just to deal with it then. So I'm going to do that right now, and then also assemble the other one as well. Okay, so this was kind of a bitch getting it put together. So what I ended up doing was I first laid it down and basically just supported the weight of it on the bar here. And then, because I didn't want to put a lot of weight on the actual speaker itself. Again, I know it's strong and I know it can handle it, but I didn't want to do that. So I just tried to lay it down flat. That didn't work because it kept keeping this part kind of at an angle, which didn't allow the screw on the bottom to actually screw into it without starting to cross thread it. And obviously you don't want to do that either. So I ended up just flipping the whole thing over and just lightly rested it on the top side of the speaker. And then I was able to lay it flat. And I was able to screw it in completely. Now it's nice and snug. There's no wobble from the unit itself. It's wobbling because it's on carpet, but this thing does feel really sturdy and stout. So you shouldn't have any issues with that over time. And obviously this is something that you don't move it a lot. You just set it in one place and you leave it alone. So if you're not touching it every day, you shouldn't have any issues with that. But I'm gonna go ahead and set up the second one, and then I'll let you guys see them side by side.